Akim Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all. We had 290 votes for, no vote against, and nobody abstained. Carried.
Lawmakers conclude voting on first set of bills to amend 1999 Constitution. Plus, House compliments federal government efforts to evacuate Nigerians in Ukraine. The Constitution Amendment journey, which started at the onset of the 9th House, is almost at an end as the House voted on 68 bills last week, passing 52 and rejecting 16. Details of how the House voted forms a major part of our program for this week. From the committee rooms, the Speaker reiterates the place of good governance in resolving issues surrounding the takeoff of the e-customs project in Nigeria. Details of these and more on House Ticket. I am Firdaus Ahmed Wakili, your anchor. Please stay tuned for details after this timeout.
If we set our minds right, embrace each other in love and brotherhood, we will come through these troubling times. We will survive, we will recover, and then we will thrive. One nation under God, free, peaceful, and prosperous.
House Ticket starts with details from plenary proceedings, the high point of which was the voting on bills seeking to amend provisions of the Constitution. The wife of the Vice President witnessed the proceedings even though 3 gender-related bills didn't get the needed votes. Let's get the details in our first report on the program. Keep watching.
On Tuesday, the 1st of March 2022, lawmakers in the Green Chamber considered and voted on 68 bills to amend the 1999 Constitution. The exercise was conducted via e-voting on the electronic platform. For any bill to scale through the Constitution amendment process in the House, it needs a mandatory 2/3 of 240 votes of the 360 members. The House dissolved into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration and voting on the 68 bills proposed for the amendment of the 1999 Constitution. The session was co-chaired by the Speaker, Representative Femi Gbajabiamila, and his deputy, Representative Ahmed Idris Wase. Wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Oshimbajo, witnessed the proceedings.
I welcome the wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Dolapo Oshimbajo. You're welcome to the House of Representatives. There is no need to try to second guess or it's clear for most of us why you are here, which is to support the provisions in the Constitution that are due for amendment for the women folk. And we appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that you're here to contribute and to lend your own support.
With the welcoming speech over, the Speaker set the ball rolling with the first bill on the list of 68 bills.
To alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to abrogate the state joint local government accounts and provide for a special account into which shall be paid all allocations due to local government councils from the Federation account and from the government of the state and for related matters. Clause 1. Voting starts now. 286 for and 1 against. Carried.
Other key bills that cross the threshold of 2/3 majority include a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for the financial independence of state houses of assembly and state judiciary and for related matters. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to allow states generate, transmit and distribute electricity in areas covered by the national grid and for related matters, and a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to move airports from exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list and for related matters.
Voting starts now. We have 290 votes for, no vote against, and nobody abstained. Carried.
However, the lawmakers rejected bills on pension for presiding officers of the National Assembly and state legislatures. Other bills that failed to scale through are a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to expand immunity for the legislative and judicial arms of government and for related matters. A bill for an act to alter Part 1 of the second schedule of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to include value-added tax on the exclusive legislative list and for related matters. Also, 3 gender-related bills suffered setback during the voting process. The bills are a bill for an act to alter the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for special seat for women in the National and State Houses of Assembly and for related matters. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for affirmative action for women in political party administration and for related matters, as well as a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide reserved quota for women and for related matters. However, the House via a voice vote adopted the bill, seeking at least 37% for women in either ministerial or commissioner position, after an amendment of 20% was approved for women.
230, the ayes have it. 20% for women.
In all, the House passed 52 bills, while 16 suffered setback. When the House reverted to plenary, progress was reported and adopted.
On matters related to customs, security, and public order, and for related matters, and by e-voting, approved close 1 to 6, the long title, the explanatory memoranda of the report.
At the end of the session, lawmakers gave their assessments on the exercise.
There are issues that are not within the contemplation of the drafters at the time the 1999 Constitution was drafted, that has now become so obvious that there is need for us to amend it to reflect the wishes and aspirations of the society.
To some extent, I'm very happy, and I'm very unhappy on some issues, particularly the rejection of the sections that affect our women. I'm not happy the way it went, so those are just the issues, but other issues too. I'm also happy the way we rejected the issue of immunity for members of the parliament. When we are struggling to remove immunity for governors, why should we want to encourage immunity for members?
In the previous houses, the bill for the special seats for women would probably not have even gone through second reading or third reading, but this one went through all of those and came for consideration and passing before it failed. I would not say it failed totally. The women in the 9th house, I want to congratulate all of us for standing tall and to preach gender mainstreaming and equality as enshrined in our Constitution. I want to thank us for the effort we have made and also plead with us not to give up.
I think women need to go back to the drawing board and re-strategize. We have to take an approach of what the ANC in South Africa did. The ANC went back to their political parties. The ANC women, South African women, had gone to the ANC and said, we will give you our vote, but what are you giving us in return? Nigerian women shouldn't give their votes for free. They should ask the men, what are you giving women back in return?
Because when you look at it, all these 68 sections that's to be amended in the constitutions were taken clause by clause. And looking at it, each were treated differently and voted accordingly. And what we did was to consider the situation of the country at the moment. So that formed the modicum of voting. And that was why you could see that throughout the session, there was no really rancor as such. Even when some failed, everybody knew that it failed because it was of a necessity.
The harmonized amendment by the two chambers of the National Assembly will be sent to the 36 state assemblies for votes.
Pursuant to Section 58.
Earlier on, before the commencement of proceedings, the Speaker, Representative Femi Gbajabiamila, had read this letter from President Muhammadu Buhari.
Pursuant to Section 58(2) of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I hereby forward the Nigeria Startup Bill 2021 for the kind consideration of the House of Representatives. The Nigeria Startup Bill 2021 aims to position Nigeria's startup ecosystem as the leading digital technology center in Africa, having excellent innovations with cutting-edge skills and exportable capacity. In order to do this, the bill seeks to establish a National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Whilst hoping that this submission will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the House, please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my best regards. Yours sincerely, M. Buhari.
When plenary resumed Wednesday, the session was presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Representative Ahmed Idris Wasi. 7 bills were taken at first reading and 4 bills for second reading. They include a bill for an act to establish Maritime University Okerenkoko and for related matters, Senate bill, and a bill for an act to repeal the Examination Malpractices Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Examination Malpractice Bill to expand offenses related to examination malpractices and prescribe adequate punishment and for related matters. It stands in the name of Representative Olanrewaju Ibrahim Kunle. On motions, Representative Tahir Monguno moved a motion on the need to investigate the duplication of functions of agencies of the federal government.
Nigeria has been gaining on the World Index of Ease of Doing Business, rising from the 145th position in 2019 to 131st in 2020. Hence, there is a need to consolidate on this improvement. Worried that with the existence of about 1,484 agencies, departments, boards, parastatals, and corporations in the country, with their attendant duplication of functions and class of interest, there is likelihood of the latest World Bank annual ratings to slide considerably.
The House, in adopting the motion, resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate duplication of duties, overlapping functions, and counterproductivity of established agencies, departments, boards, parastatals, and corporations in the country, and establish the areas of mergers, synergies, and justification for the existence of some established agencies, departments, boards, parastatals, and corporations which are no longer needed in the country, and report back within 6 weeks for further legislative action. On his part, Representative Bukar Gana moved a motion on the need to provide emergency clinics along federal highways across the Federation.
The House noted that road traffic accidents have become a global public health concern, but not enough attention is given to it in terms of public health enlightenment and strategic policies by the government to achieve sustainable control. The House also noted that although some accidents are inevitable, a lot can be done to minimize fatalities through the establishment of functional road traffic clinics across the state of the Federation.
The House then resolved to urge the federal government to establish and adequately equip more emergency clinics for road accident victims on federal highways across the Federation. Also urged the Federal Road Safety Commission to liaise with the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing and state emergency management authorities to ensure that accident victims receive quick medical attention. The House also mandated the Committee on Federal Road Safety Commission to ensure compliance. The need to complete the Hajj terminal of the Sultan Abubakar International Airport, Sokoto, was the subject of another motion considered by the House, sponsored by all House members from Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi states. Representative Balarabe Shehu Kakale moved the motion on their behalf.
But the airport has the largest Hajj terminal serving 3 states with additional aviation auxiliaries functions to Abuja, Kano, Kaduna and Kebbi airports and handling over 10,000 international Hajj and Umrah passengers annually. Aware that considering the strategic importance of the airport, contracts were awarded in 2013 to upgrade and build a standard Hajj terminal as required by national and international aviation regulations. I'm concerned that 9 years afterwards, the Hajj terminal is still under construction with their need of necessary facilities such as access routes, parking spaces, lightings, fence, offices, and other public conveniences.
The motion was adopted and the House resolved to urge the federal government to intensify efforts to complete the International Hajj Terminal, adequately equip and repair all faulty aviation, navigation and safety instruments at the Sultan Abubakar International Airport, Sokoto State, before the commencement of the 2022 Hajj. Mandate the Committees on Aviation and Pilgrimage Affairs to ensure compliance. On consideration of reports, a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Child Protection and Enforcement Agency and for related matters was considered clause by clause in the Committee of the Whole.
+5.
The Deputy Speaker, Representative Ahmad Idris Wasi, also presided over plenary of Thursday, the 3rd of March 2022, where 7 bills were read the first time. 4 bills came up for second reading, out of which 2 bills failed to pass. They are a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority Act and transfer the assets and liabilities to the Ministry of Finance Incorporated and related matters. It stands in the name of Representative Oluwole Oke. And a bill for an act to regulate international studies for wars and children of Nigerian public officers to strengthen indigenous institutions, provide efficient educational services for national development and for related matters. It was sponsored by Representative Sergius Ose. Moving on to motions, the House considered and voted the following motions. With consideration of outstanding bills from preceding assembly, it was moved by Representative Abubakar Hassan Fulata.
National Postgraduate College of Medical Laboratory Science Establishment Bill 2019, House Bill 16, Satellite Towns Development Agency Bill 2019, House Bill 43, Chartered Institute of Tourism Professionals of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2020.
The House resolved to commit the bills to the Committee of the Whole for consideration.
Need to address the flight.
Representative Shehu Balarabe moved a motion on the need to address the plights of displaced citizens of Giwa and Birnungwari local government areas of Kaduna State.
The attacks, killings, and kidnappings of innocent citizens and also destruction of their properties by bandits, which have taken a lawful dimension, as it is now a daily affair of in Birnungwari, Giwa Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Informed that the despicable activities of bandits have led the displacement of most of the communities, and also the attack by bandits are carried out both during the day and night, which resulted in the kidnapping of mostly women and children and burned down their houses.
The House resolved to urge the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, the National Emergency Agency, and the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons to urgently intervene by assisting innocent displaced persons with foods, Medicare, clothes, shelter, financial stipends, and other relief materials. The House also considered and voted on a motion seeking to regulate the point of sales POS business operation in Nigeria. It was moved by Representative Jimo Abdurrahim Olajide.
Or services rendered, but due to many factors, the point of sales POS has been turned into a lucrative business in Nigeria.
The program is still House Ticket. Earlier on, we took reports from plenary where we highlighted how the House voted on bill seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. House Ticket continues with reports of other activities by lawmakers, starting with the interaction between the Speaker and the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. The plight of Nigerians trapped in Ukraine topped the agenda. Let's get details.
We have to do away with the issue of...
If there are challenges, you can always come to the National
We must back that effort by
If there was only 2% left, why didn't the ministry inject some money for 20?
Why transferring for the same area that they were operating there? And you expect to come and clap for you?
I want to commend you for... The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Representative Femi Gbajabiamila, on Monday, the 28th of February 2022, played host to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Godfrey Onyema. The two leaders discussed on plans to ensure that the evacuation is well coordinated. The Speaker assured his guest that the National Assembly will support the efforts of the federal government to ensure that all Nigerians are evacuated from the war-torn Ukraine. He assured the minister that the lawmakers will give all the needed support to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to begin the evacuation. He recalled that the House was left with no choice but to pass a resolution recently during plenary mandating its majority leader, Representative Adodogwa, and Chairman House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Representative Yusuf Buba, to work with the ministry on the way forward. The minister had earlier said there are nearly 6,000 Nigerian students in Ukraine, noting that there are also non-students, some whom might not have been legally documented. He added that they are working with countries such as Poland, Hungary, Romania and Slovakia as possible exit points for Nigerians. Meanwhile, at the public hearing organized by the House Committee on the need to resolve the tussle between the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and Technical Committee on Comprehensive Import Supervision for the takeoff of e-customs project in Nigeria has taken off. The assignment is being carried out by the Joint Committees of Customs and Excise, Finance and Banking and Currency. Speaker of the House, who declared the hearing open, said the Parliament is determined to ensure good governance in the country. He was represented at the hearing by Deputy House Leader, Representative Peter Akpatason.
Parliament has a responsibility to ensure that the government institutions are adequately equipped and properly guided to effectively deliver on their mandates. It is in fulfillment of this responsibility that the House of Representatives resolved to mandate the committees on custom, excise, and finance, as well as banking and currency, to investigate the factors mitigating against the full implementation of the Nigeria Customs Service e-Customs Modernization Project, and to make recommendations for immediate legislative and executive action to ensure this project is quickly and fully implemented to the benefit of all the Nigerian people.
Deployment of 135
In his remarks, Chairman House Committee on Customs and Excise, Representative Leke Abejide, gave a background on the objectives of the e-customs.
On the issue of e-customs modernization projects, whose objectives is to completely automate every aspect of custom administration. And from our findings, which is the major reason for today's meeting, a PPP arrangement was made within certain consortium, Huawei consortium, using the Special Purpose Vehicle, SPV, e-Custom HC Project Limited, within a mandate to 1. Develop, design, implement, and maintain the required e-Custom end-to-end ICT platform. 2. To digitalize custom business and procedure. 3. Upgrade Nigeria Customs Service ICT infrastructure to world class.
He said the House wants to find out why the project is yet to take off 5 years after its conception.
We as committees want to know from the critical major stakeholders with CBN, Finance Ministry, Nigeria Customs Service, Adani Mega System, what is the stumbling block hindering the takeoff of the e-custom 5 years after the idea was conceived.
One of the cases comes up on the
Stakeholders drawn from financial institutions, customs, and many more took turns to make submissions on the subject matter. The committee has adjourned and is expected to hear from other stakeholders at a later date.
It is on that note we conclude this episode of House Ticket. Send in your comments and questions through any of our social media handles showing on your screen. Be part of the democratic process. Make sure you have a valid voter's card to participate in the next general elections. Enjoy the rest of your day.